Good morning, children. Welcome back to English online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. How are you all doing, children? I hope you all are doing great and staying safe at home. Yes? Okay, children. Then shall we start our today's session? Yes? Okay. We are discussing lesson 5, the bishop's candlesticks. We already discussed the summary of the lesson and also the question answers of the lesson. Today we will discuss the textual exercises of the lesson. The textual exercises is based on the topic tenses. I hope you remember the family of tenses. Yes, we studied it in our grammar lessons. And I know that you don't need much of explanations on this topic as you're thorough with the topic, right? Yes. Still, let's refresh our ideas on the topic tenses, okay? As I had told you, we human beings cannot live without performing any actions. We want to do some or other types of actions, right? We are always engaged in activities. So all these actions are verbs in our grammar, okay? So what are verbs? Verbs are action words. The words that denote actions. For example, what am I doing now? I am teaching you English grammar, right? Which is the verb or the action word in the sentence? Teaching. Now I am talking to you. I am speaking to you. I am explaining the lesson to you. I am discussing the lesson with you. Here, which are the verbs, children, in all these sentences? Speaking, talking, discussing, explaining. All these are action words, right? All these are verbs in these sentences. Now, what are you doing, children? You are listening to online classes. You are listening to English online class. Listening is action word. You're watching the lecture video. Watching is action word. How do you watch the lecture video? First, you will have to click the video. Click the press button, right? Clicking is an action. Pressing is again an action. So, all these are action words. All these are verbs in grammar. Okay, children? So, I hope you understood what are verbs. Now, as you have understood what are verbs, let's move on to tenses. So, what are tenses? Tenses are that feature or aspect of the verb that shows the time of an action, children. So what are tenses? Tenses denote the time of an action. We have already studied 3 tenses. Which are the 3 tenses, children? We studied present tense, past tense and future tense. Isn't it? Yes. So what is the present tense, children? Present tense denote the actions that is happening now. That happens at the present moment. The actions that happens at the present time, children. That is called present tense. When we want to denote actions that has already completed or that has already taken place or that has already over is presented by past tense. So past tense denote the actions that has already completed or that has already taken place. Okay. Now what is future tense? Future tense denote the actions that will happen at a later time, that will happen in the future. Okay. In the present tense we studied simple present and present continuous tense. What is simple present tense, children? How can you form simple present tense? You can add s or es to the verb. Otherwise we can avoid s. Either we have to add s or we can avoid s with the verb. Okay. For example, he works. He is a singular person. So we used works with the verb. If I say I work. I work. Why did I use I work? Because I is a plural subject in grammar. Even though I means a single person in grammar, I is a plural subject. So with I, you have to always avoid that s. Okay, s with the base verb. You have to avoid s with the base verb. What's the base form, children? For example, if I say study, study, studied, studied. So here which is the base form? Study, because it is from the word study that we formed studied and the third form also studied. Okay. So V1, V2 and V3. That is how the 3 forms of the verbs are formed. Okay. So study is a base form. Another example, play. Play, played, played. Here which is the base form? Play. It is from the word play that we have formed the past tense and the past participle. V2 and the V3 form of the verbs. Okay. So that is called the base form. So if we add s to the base form, s or es to the base form, we can make or we can form the simple present tense. If it is plural subject, we don't add that s. If it is singular subjects, we add s. With that we form simple present tense. Simple present tense is used to denote habitual actions and also universal truth. Okay, habitual action means the actions that we perform regularly, the actions that we do repeatedly becomes part of our habit, and that are called habitual actions. I go to school every day. See, I used only go. If it is he, how will we form the verb? He goes to school every day. Okay, she goes to school every day. They go to school every day. We go to school every day. I, we, they all are plural subjects, so I avoided that s with the base form of the verb, whereas he and she is a singular subject, so I used goes. Okay, so that is how we form the simple present tense. Simple present tense is also used to denote universal truth. For example, the famous example, the sun rises in the east. It will not change, right? It is a permanent truth. So in order to denote such permanent truth, we can use simple present tense. Now let's discuss present continuous tense. Okay, what is present continuous, or what is the form of present continuous tense? We can use is or am or are plus verb plus ing form. Okay, whenever you see the word continuous, you have to use ing form with the verb. Okay, and present continuous means it denotes an action that is happening now. Present continuous tense is used to denote an ongoing action, the action that is happening, or that action that is happening now. Okay, for example, I am teaching English. This action is happening now, right? It hasn't stopped. So in order to denote the actions that is still happening or that is still going on, we use present continuous tense. Continuous means it is still going on. Let's move to past tense now. Past tense is used to denote an action that is already over, that has already happened, to denote a completed action. So when do we use past tense? We use past tense in order to denote a completed action. For example, I bought some apples. That action is already over. Now let's move to simple past and past continuous. How do you form simple past tense? We can use ed. Okay, we can use ed with the verb. Then it becomes simple past. I studied English. That action is already over. Now let's move to past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is used to denote an action that was happening sometime in the past. So when we want to denote an action that was going on for some time in the past, we can use past continuous tense. And how do you form past continuous tense, children? We can use was or were plus verb plus ing form. I have told you, whenever you see the word continuous, you have to use verb plus ing form. For example, it was raining all night. So sometime in the past, in the night, it was raining for some time. That process was going on from some time. So in order to denote such actions, we can use past continuous tense. Okay. Future tense. What is future tense? We use future tense in order to denote an action that will happen at some time in the future, at a later time. Okay. Our exams will start next week. So here when I use will, you understood that it denotes future time. Okay. I hope you understood the three tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. In present tense we have simple present and present continuous. In past tense we have simple past and past continuous, and we also studied future tense. I hope you understood all these three tenses. Now let's do the textual exercises. Children, now take your textbook. All of you open your textbook. Take page number 54. In 54 we have a textual exercises based on tenses. Okay. Let's move to the textual exercises. So the first exercise, exercise A. In exercise A, you have to complete the sentences by using the correct forms of the verb. Okay. In brackets they have given the verbs. You have to use a correct form of that verbs. Let's see the textual exercises. The first one, Moina dash a letter now. See, now. From the word now, you understood that it is the present moment. The action denotes the present moment. The action is still happening. Okay. So write is a verb. How will you change it into present continuous? Moina is writing. As Moina is a single person, we have to use is. Okay. Now move to the next one. We dash the homework tomorrow. When you see the word tomorrow, you can know that it is used. So when you see the word tomorrow, you know that it is used to denote a future time. So what is the verb? Complete. So how will you complete the sentence? We will complete the homework tomorrow. So in order to denote the future tense, we can use the word will. Okay, we can use the modal auxiliary will. You have already studied modal auxiliary. Now the third one, Ruby and Roshni dash a sand castle when the rain came down. Build is a verb. So how will you change that verb? You can say Ruby and Roshni were building. There are two persons, right? There are two girls. In order to denote two girls, we have to use were. If it was a single girl, we can use was. But here it is two girls. So we have to use were. Okay. Ruby and Roshni were building a sand castle when the rain came down. So in order to denote an action that was going on for some time in the past. So they were doing it in the past. For some time that action was going on. Fourth one, Shashi dash in the school play last week. So perform is a verb. How can you change the form of that verb? You can see the words or see the phrase last week. So when we saw the word last week, you understood that it is a past action. Last week, it has already over. So you can say Shashi performed in the school play. Play means drama. In the school play last week. Okay. The fifth one. Nowadays, father a mile every morning. See, it denotes a habitual action every morning. He does it every day. He does it regularly. So when we want to denote an action that happens regularly or to denote an action that becomes part of our habit, we have to use simple present tense. How can you use simple present tense? If it is a singular subject, we have to add s. If it is plural subject, we can avoid that s. Okay. So here, father is a single person. So with walk, we can add s. Okay. Nowadays, father walks a mile every morning. Children, try to do the rest of the exercise as homework. 6, 7 and 8 do as homework. Okay. Do by yourself. Now let's move to section B. Rewrite these sentences using the tense in the brackets. So the first one, I am cleaning the cupboard. So they have given you a sentence and they have also given the tense in the bracket. And you have to change the sentence according to that tense. Okay, tense given in the bracket. I am cleaning the cupboard. Which is a tense, children, in this sentence? I am cleaning. When we use am cleaning, it is present continuous tense. The action that is still going on. Okay, that action is still continuing. In order to denote an action that is still continuing, we use present continuous tense. So how will you make it into future tense? We can use the word will. Okay, when we use the word will, it becomes future tense. I will clean the cupboard. Okay. Second one, we will meet the musicians. Here, when you see the word will, you know that it denotes future times. We will meet the musicians. You have to change it into present continuous tense. How will you change, children? We are meeting the musicians. We are meeting the musicians. So you can use are because we use a plural subject. Okay. Next one, you were running really fast. That is a sentence. You have to change into simple present tense. They have used which tense, children? They have used past continuous tense because were, V-E-R-E, were. Okay. When you see the word were, it is past tense. Okay. So how can you make it in a simple present tense? You run really fast. If it is he, how can you change? He runs. As you is a plural subject, we have to say you run really fast. Okay. Will you do the rest of the exercises by yourself? Yes, children. Try it. Okay. Try it out. Next you have vocabulary and story writing. Story writing is already taught to you by Seema ma'am. You all know how to write a story. So our Bishop's Candlestick is a drama. It is a play where you can find dialogues. The entire drama is presented in form of dialogues, right? Drama means there will be dialogues. But in story, you won't find dialogues. There will be some dialogues, but not like drama. So when you write a story, you have to avoid that dialogue. So you have to present in the form of sentences and you have to make a beautiful story. You have to frame a beautiful story. I have given you a sample. Copy it down in your English notebook at the back side of your English notebook. Okay, children? So I hope you understood today's topic clearly. It's time to wind up our session. So let's conclude our session here. That's all for today. Thank you, children. See you in the next class.